Hello children, in today's class we are going to see handling letters to the editor or writing letters to the editor, how to write letters to the editor and how the letters are handled. So that is what we are going to see in today's class. See, in writing a letter to the editor, first you must understand that that is readers have a unique opportunity to discuss some issues or frame the debate on an issue in the reader's own words. So for every comment a news outlet receives, they assume there are hundreds, if not thousands of readers who feel the same way. So a few quality letters can carry real weight and make a critical difference. So readers of newspaper editorials and opinion pieces, they tend to be decision makers and also sensitive to public opinion. So presenting information and ideas to them in a coherent written form helps reach important and influential audiences. And if you see, many letters to editors are badly presented in spite of even being written with an eye to publication. So even if an assistant deals with the letter section, the editor should read all the letters either before or after the assistant has worked on the selection to be published. So most journals that publish correspondence point out that the editor reserves the right to reject or even shorten or excerpt or edit the letters for publication. So editing should however be restricted to removing intemperate statements or even examples of bad taste. So spelling mistakes should be corrected, but the grammar should not be changed unless the writer's point is unclear. So letters should be published as soon as possible after receipt, and only in rare cases they should be signed. So letters to the editor rarely need to be refereed. So any letters criticizing a previously published article, should be shown to the author of the article, whose reply should preferably be published in the same issue as the critical letter. So you must know that letters to the editor are actually the feedback from the paper's readership. So that is letters to the editor. So letters to the editor are the feedback from the paper's readership. So if an editor does not get letters from his readers, even it means that they either do not care for what comes out through his paper, or that they do not have opinions about contemporary issues. So they are very particular that they must get letters from their readers. And if the readers do not have opinions, the editor has failed as an opinion leader. So they expect letters from readers. So keep writing letters to editors or to the agencies, newspapers. And the next section, letters to the editors can be categorized into these four. Okay, so letters to the editor can be categorized into these four headings. The first is commentative letters, and the second one is informative letters, and the third category is this laudatory letters, and the fourth one, if you see, is argumentative letters. So they usually categorize the letters under these four headings. So let us now see what is this first one, commentative letters. So these are letters conveying the mature reactions of readers to something reported in the paper or expressed through its editorial columns. So that is commentative letters. So they categorize such types of letters under this first one, commentative. So as I said, let me repeat, letters conveying the mature reactions of readers to something reported in the paper. So that is commentative, giving the readers comment on some issue, on some report, is commentative letters. And second one, if you see, is informative letters. So as the name tells, informative letters are which inform the paper and also its readers about new or impending developments and seasonal manifestations. So they can also be of a warning nature, indicating possible disasters. So informative letters, now we expect this third wave, pandemic, this COVID virus third wave we are expecting. So this is if any reader is able to produce or is able to give more information on this third wave, so it is it will be welcomed by the agency. So such letters which inform the paper and its readers about some impending developments or dangers comes under the second category, informative letters. And the third one is laudatory letters. So these actually laudatory letters, these praise the paper for something it has published. So you are glorifying the reporter or the writer for the news of, even for, it could be even the glorification, it could be for a picture. Okay, so laudatory letters may also praise or thank some other individual or even organization for some commendable deed which the letter writer feels the public should know about it. So sometimes it could be now Yusuf Ali, this what he has done. So he has offered 1 crore to save a Malayali, isn't it? So you can praise, you can glorify the person, and you can write a letter to the editor so that the public will know more about the person. So it could be, as I said, it could be praise of a particular news event or also an individual or organization for some commendable deed. So that is laudatory letters. And next is argumentative letters. So argumentative letters are often, quarrelsome. Okay, that is, you quarrel with the editor, or often quarrelsome, or even downright abusive about something which has appeared in the paper. Of these, the more constructive, critical and decently worded letters will be published. So they will never publish all argumentative letters. Every day they might get hundreds or thousands of argumentative letters or abusive, abusive letters. They can't publish all these letters. And among those letters, argumentative letters, they select more constructively critical and decently worded letters will be published. So good editors will not fear publishing critical letters, and they will find that doing so will also increase their credibility. Okay, so they will never avoid publishing such letters. So convention demands that letters correcting some erroneous fact or differing with some view expressed in the paper must be published, sometimes with an explanatory note from the editors. If the mistake is serious enough, even an apology from the editor may be required. So the letters columns sometimes witness a healthy debate on some contemporary issue. So please go through to just read tomorrow's Hindu newspaper. You'll find healthy issues, a debate on contemporary issues. So such debates may even help lawmakers to decide on the best possible options in the case of critical issues requiring suitable legislation. And next is, how do they select letters? Okay, in selecting letters to the editor for publication, the following guidelines must be followed. Okay, I have listed 6 guidelines, and these guidelines must be followed in selecting letters to the editor for publication. And the first one is, the letters should be relevant and interesting to the readers. So that is the first important point. The letters that readers write should be relevant and interesting to the readers. Second one, it should have the full name and address of the sender. So anonymous letters will not be entertained. You have to give your complete name, full name and address. So it should have the full name and address of the sender. The letters should have. And third point, if you see, the letters should not be too boring piece. Okay, it should not be too long, or it should not be a long boring piece. Some letters can be pared down to the relevant passages. So make it brief. And the fourth point is, letters should not be libelous or defamatory. You cannot scold or you cannot abuse a person. So such letters will not be entertained. It will not be published. So letters should not be libelous or defamatory. And the fifth point, letters should not be a letter begging for favors. Okay, letters should not should not be a letter begging favors, like if you need a laptop, if you don't have a proper data or net, you cannot ask for such favors. Okay, so letters should not be beg for favors. And the last point is, it should not be a letter proclaiming the greatness of the writer. So simply you cannot praise the greatness of the writer. So it should not be a letter proclaiming the greatness of the writer. So the letters to the editor column is in most newspapers is small and cannot take more than about 1000 words. So you have to be very careful that your letters should be brief. Snappy letters just stating the bare facts get preference. So you have to be very brief, and you must try to present only the facts. Only the bare facts get preferences. Okay. Above all, the editor must ensure that every letter to the editor, whether selected for publication or not, must be acknowledged and a courteous reply sent to the reader. So this is very important. So whether it is published or not, but the editor should acknowledge all the letters, and a courteous reply will be sent to the reader. I hope you have understood the class. Meet you next class. Thank you.